Okay, hey, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of AI Clubhouse. And we were having a little technical difficulty because Facebook has made another major change and we cannot stream to our group from Zoom anymore.
Just great.
We're going to call you Ginger Zuckerberg from now on. Therefore,
no.
She was Ginger Zuckerberg. We'd be streaming to Facebook.
We'd be doing, yeah. The world would be different. It would not be that way. I would talk to my little brother. So, okay. Well, happy Wednesday. Welcome. We've got a full house here and I'm really excited. Steve is here. Well, he's not officially here. Now he's here.
Wife just came into the house. I'm like, okay, let's shut I didn't think she was here, so now I got to shut the door.
And Scott, welcome. Frank, always good to see you, my friend. And we have a great guest back, Miss Chelsea Gardner. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Hey, thanks for being back. You're going to be a monthly guest, so you know
I love
it. And I have to tell you, so we'll catch up on this. For those of you who are trying to get onto Facebook and watch us, you're going to have to register for the Zoom meeting now. So I guess that's a good thing we went back to Zoom. So I'll send out a link for that as well. But Chelsea, I will tell you, first of all, we are approaching almost 3,000 in our group. So let's get to 3,000. Maybe we can do it by the end of the month. Let's invite people. But Chelsea,
I'm going to do my best. Just so you know, next week, big travel week for me. So I won't be here. But I'll be talking about y'all everywhere I am. We're gonna hit that 3,000 next week.
Okay, perfect. That's our goal. And then, so Chelsea, when I posted that you're going to be our guest again, I had several people that invited other people. You know how they put a name in the group and that way that other person knows. And so I saw that happening and it's like, so, pay attention, get in this group. And so I love that. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Awesome.
So when you were here the last time, we started talking obviously about AI and social media. And I know you have been doing a lot of different webinars and things, just really diving into that conversation. When we were in the green room, we were talking about Scott was speaking at a Perry Marshall event in Chicago last week. And so before we hop in, Chelsea, to talking about social media, I just kind of want a quick recap for the group, Scott, of how Chicago was.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Quick.
Yeah. Very, very, very cool conversation. I think a lot of us that talk about AI a lot, we recognize that a lot of people are thinking about it and talking about it in the same way. Nobody has answers. Everybody has a lot of questions. And the theme that went through Perry's audience that I really liked is a lot of discussions about how partnering with AI can improve humanity instead of this fear of it stealing our stuff and taking stuff away from us. How can it make us better and how can it make us more human by offloading the things that maybe don't serve us anymore, so that we can think more about bigger problems and solve bigger things. So that was a really cool theme, but I think it, for me, mostly it reinforced the fact that we are all kind of figuring this out on the same way. Everybody has the same questions. There isn't anything out there that you don't know that you probably haven't heard. And just paying attention to the conversation, I think, is the single most valuable thing you can do right now.
I love it. Yeah. And I last week was in Dallas and spoke at the Arlington Board of Realtors and did a 3-hour workshop on AI with realtors. And it was really cool because we had them bring their laptops in. So it wasn't just a conversation of, okay, this is what you should do, but they actually opened up their laptops. I had sent them all of the handouts before. So as we were doing prompts and we actually created their GPTs for them. So I had a form for them to fill out that had their information. And it was really cool to watch them be able to have that accomplishment, to walk away with something, not just hear about something. So I was really excited about that. I had Mark Hairston. I don't know if Mark is on this call. He is in Austin, and he drove from Austin to Dallas to sit in the workshop because he wanted to see if what I was teaching was CE worthy for realtors, because he has the ability to approve CE for realtors in the state of Texas. And so he gave a thumbs up. So I'm submitting an outline, and we're probably going to have 3 1-hour workshops for CE in Texas for real estate agents.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I mean, and that's the whole thing, is we're going through this, and the discovery and the learning, and the human side of it, Scott, I think is so important for people to look at, and where you can take off some of those different tasks that maybe you're doing or a VA is doing, or even to augment. So, and that brings us into the conversation of social media, because Chelsea, as a business owner, you do social media for a lot of your clients. And the reason they hire you is because they don't have the expertise or the time to do social media. Mm-hmm. And so, and you and I have had this conversation. It's like, okay, well, with AI, do they really need to outsource that? And I think it comes to a matter of, do you have the time? Right. And so, that's one of the things. It's like, where are the things can you use it, and where does it make sense to use it? So let's talk about that.
Yeah. And I think, like, everyone is so, especially marketers, are on edge about, well, is ChatGPT and AI going to kind of take over our jobs? Because you can do social media in ChatGPT. You can use AI to do it. But like you said, do you have the time? Do you have the time to prompt? Do you have the time to train it to do your social media? And then it's not just writing, right? So you also have to have the graphics or the video content that goes with the post, right? You're not just, I mean, if you're just kind of typing on Threads or X, that's one thing. But if you're going on Instagram, if you're going on Facebook, who knows what's going on with TikTok today? You need I'm maybe getting banned today. I have no idea. But you need the video, or you need the graphic to go with that. And a lot of people, they don't have the time or the bandwidth to do that. And AI can create and generate graphics, yes, but you got to put all of that together. And so, using AI, using ChatGPT is a huge benefit for people who are trying to dabble in getting their social media up and running. But there definitely is still some pieces to it that have to be done human-wise or time-wise.
And it's mostly all manual too, right, Chelsea? Right now, it's like you have to go over to it, create it, and then assemble all of those pieces that you create with AI and post it. It's a very manual process right now.
It is. Yeah. There's not like a, hey, ChatGPT, can you schedule this to my Facebook tomorrow? Like, there's not that option.
Yeah. Give it the end of the day.
20 minutes.
If they're listening, it might be there tomorrow, but not
now,
today.
Chelsea, my question is, and I have not done this, but I've seen it everywhere. Now, when I get onto my social media, it says, do you want AI to write this for you, or do you write it yourself? And I've always been using it other ways. Has anyone here ever used their AI to say, hey, rewrite this for me? And how's that working for you?
Yeah, I have. I tested it. And it works really well. You can put in your, verbiage, you can say, kind of tell it what you want to write. And essentially it does almost the same thing as ChatGPT, in the sense of creating content. And the training element obviously isn't there. It's not something like you would with ChatGPT and the GPTs that you have to create within those. But it's nice for a quick, like, oh, hey, can you beef this up? Or can you make this a little more fun, or maybe a little more educational? But you still need to have like the heart of what you want to say, versus like really the prompting mechanism just isn't fully there in my experience quite yet. But it's there. I mean, it's coming, and I don't know. I know a lot of people are complaining in my world, but the search button in Facebook now is Meta AI. Where when you hit it, it opens up, how can I help you, for Meta AI. So that's coming. I don't know if it's rolled out to everyone, but it's there too. So
Meta's new AI is absolutely amazing.
yeah, you can do a
The
lot
new
of
Llama 3 is really, really good. You
yeah.
played with the image generator?
I have not played with the image generator. I try and
Let's
stay
demo
away
that,
of
Ginger. Let's
PTSD.
demo this real
Okay.
quick before we end today because it's super fun.
Can you bring it up on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to see I haven't done the image one. I only have tested the captions and that kind of stuff. And the search feature is really cool in there. But it's where the old search button was. So sometimes I get myself really confused because I hit search and it pulls up Meta AI.
Well, that brings us to a whole nother conversation as far as staying on top of all these and not getting overwhelmed and, heading down rabbit trails to where, you truly can do that. So I think that's why, honestly, what we're doing right now is like that weekly call. It's like, staying ahead, bringing different people, from different areas. So I think that's important. But it's almost to the point like when social media first came out, where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And it can do this and it can do this. And I can remember when you first started being able to post a photo onto Facebook, and that was a new thing. So I think, being aware is important, and then choosing what works for you. So when we're talking about social media, and most of our audience is loan originators. So, what are the things that they need to be aware with AI and using it with social media to help enhance what they're doing, Chelsea?
Yeah. So, one thing that I always like when I'm doing coaching and classes and webinars, so many people, I primarily focus in ChatGPT. So many people are like, well, have you used this platform? Have you used that platform? Have you done this? Right? And so, in my opinion, like Facebook, right? Have you used the Facebook one? Find one that works, learn it, use it, and only use that one regularly and learn that one regularly, no matter which one it is. Bard, ChatGPT. Yes. See, time out.
That y'all can stop listening the rest of the day. What Chelsea just said is everything. I listen to these people. Why should I learn it today? It's going to be something different tomorrow, and that might be a different generation. And you have to start using it and get comfortable where you are, and then you will expand for there. So, Chelsea, we're not worthy. That was brilliant what you just said. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, when everyone's like, "Oh, well, have you tried this? Have you used this?" It's like, "No, I've heard of it, but I'm not going to go and learn 17 different AIs, especially as so many of them are rolling out." And if ChatGPT is too overwhelming and you've been using Bard or use it. But you pick one and stick with it. I think that's like the biggest key when it comes to anything really. I mean, it's the same for me with social media. Pick a platform, engage with one platform, grow one platform, push one platform, and then expand your horizons to other platforms. It's the same with AI systems, because you become way too overwhelmed when you're trying to learn 16 different AI platforms and systems. Just stick to one. Stick to one AI, stick to one social media platform, learn it, grow, and then go on and do greater things.
Well, and the biggest thing I think is becoming good at prompting, because no matter what system you're using, if you know how to ask for what you want, then you can use it in Google or chat. On a side note, I was at First American last week in Dallas, First Funding, their banking division. And they shared that First American is only allowing their staff to use Google. They're not opening up ChatGPT at all. And so I'm wondering if anyone has seen that, to where companies, organizations are saying you can only use this one. Scott, have you seen that?
Yeah, certainly. And it makes sense under a company name because Gemini is attached to your Google Workspace. And so they can create permissions from a higher level on what they can use it for. So yeah, that makes sense to me. And I have heard I have heard this. There are some really interesting conversations around this topic around using ChatGPT, and the best one, and I can't recall who said it, but it was somebody way smarter than me, and they basically said, "Listen, your employees are already using ChatGPT for stuff. So embrace it and allow them to do it and encourage them to use it because they're probably going to be able to push up improvements and efficiencies, and that everybody on the team is going to be able to benefit from. So I would caution against a cautious approach to this, because if you take a cautious approach, your employees are just not going to admit that they're using it.
It's like when
To me,
Facebook first came
it's
out.
it's Facebook 2.0. Originally, we can't be on Facebook. Stay away, stay away, stay away. Well, they're going to use it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put
They
rules
had
and guidelines around
workarounds.
it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing all over again.
Yeah. Well, there's the enterprise edition to where if a company truly wanted to have that ability for privacy and things like that, then they could do an enterprise edition under ChatGPT and be able to do that. We have a friend who's an accountant for Price Waterhouse, a forensic accountant, and they have enterprise, and all of their employees have their own, and so that's just what they've done. So you just never know with that. Okay, I want to hop in. So Scott, if you want to pull up and share your screen, if you can.
Oh, yeah. Let me see.
Let's take a look at this. Our Facebook.
Okay. Why is it not
allowing you to share?
Oh, there it is. Yep, there it is. Okay, so this was released last week. This is Facebook's Llama 3 LLM, large language model. And so they released Meta.ai completely free. And they have this feature in there that I've never seen anything like it. So Steve, give me a scene. Tell me.
Somebody's ordering at a fast food restaurant.
What is it?
Someone's ordering food at a fast food restaurant.
Okay, so you start by typing imagine someone at the counter of a fast food restaurant wearing a sombrero.
Cinco de Mayo's coming up.
Oh my gosh. And it does it while you're typing.
Yes. How amazing is that?
That's crazy.
Keyword imagine, right?
So you start with imagine, and you'll see over here on the side it says new conversation or imagine, and you click that, and it just preemptively prompts it. So you don't have to write the word, but you just type the word imagine and then you keep going. Now there doesn't appear to be any what's that? Yeah, so I think
it's like a watermark or something on it.
Yeah, there's an AI. So you can't download it right now, but just to play with it, like, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I've used the writing feature, and it's good. I just haven't played with the graphic, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
So then once you do that, you can just post it.
No, that's Meta.ai. It's not Facebook. It doesn't look like you can do anything with the images yet.
Gotcha.
So this is just so most of Facebook stuff has been in the Facebook ecosystem. They just decided to let it go in the wild like ChatGPT. So that's just a public free interface so that people can start getting used to the Facebook LLM. It's really good. Facebook is going to be one of the leaders in this. I don't know if I said this before or during the thing, but Facebook made a really big move to buying up a ton of AI chips. They want to be the leader and they want to push everybody else out. So they're going to make advancements very, very quickly.
Why we can't use Zoom.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, Well, and I mean, that's the whole thing. So to Chelsea's point of pick one, learn it, because once you master that, then you can take those same skills that you have. And honestly, it truly, I think, is in the prompting, because if you get better at asking, and then you can say, okay, so metas is going to be imagine. And so it's like, then you can take and apply those different principles, the same principles to a different platform, and move from there. So I want to talk about prompting because Chelsea, you and Tony and I wrote the prompt handbook a while ago, which I think needs an update again. We knew that when we wrote a book. But the reason that we did that is really to get started in prompting and going through that. So give us your best advice as far as getting started on prompting. Where should someone start?
And throw your great acronym out there also that you used last time. If somebody's joining us for the first time, that acronym got a lot of feedback.
Oh, yeah. So the ATM method is what is in the book. That is a really great prompting tool. And I'll go back to that in terms of what it stands for. But when you're looking at prompting, right, that is going to kind of be what you follow. You want to act, right? You want to act as whoever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to do within ChatGPT, and tell it what you want it to do and give it a message, right? Or have it create a message for you. When it comes to prompting, and what I've found, Ginger, I don't know, since we wrote the book, like you said, it was last year, right?
Last November. Yeah. Long time ago.
But what I have found now with prompting is, if you're using, so let's go to ChatGPT. If you're using ChatGPT, prompting for me is all in GPTs now. All in GPTs, because you can create what I call, the GPTs to me are virtual assistants. I can create a virtual assistant for anything. I can create one like if I'm like, ooh, I want a virtual assistant that focuses only on writing content for VA loans. I can make a virtual assistant for that. If I want one to just do USDA loans, I can do that. And then it does it for me. And all I have to do is follow the prompts ChatGPT gives me to create my GPT. So for those who are like brand new and unsure how to prompt, I think creating a GPT is huge, because it asks you those questions. And then when you're building out your own prompts, so if you're not using ChatGPT and you're working in another system, then building out the prompts is being very specific, explaining exactly who you are, what you do, who your target audience is. Act as whatever you're trying to do, right? So for social media, act as a social media marketer, right? And then tell it what you're trying to accomplish. So act as a social media marketer for a loan originator on USDA loans. Write out a social media post for my Facebook and my Instagram, right? We want to be very specific on what we're trying to accomplish in order for it to give us what we're looking for. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I talked in circles there. But the ATM method, the act tell, that is a huge one to follow if you're prompting in platforms without creating your virtual assistants.
Exactly. And the GPTs, and we'll hop back into the GPTs, and you may have done this for your clients too, Chelsea. As all of our clients, we've created a custom GPT for them, and it has all their licensing information in it. It has all their websites in it. It has all of their social media links in it. It has everything in it. And that's the thing. That's what we did in what I did in the workshop last week in Arlington is I have an agent output form that I have them fill out. And then you just set up the instructions. And Scott, you shared with us on how to do that as far as setting up the custom instructions some time ago. And so those are things, get good at doing that, because the more you do on the back end with the GPT, then the less you have to put into the prompts. And then you can create, like we actually have prompts for each of our clients as well, that all you have to do is hit the button and then it automatically, and we have prompts. Last week when I did the workshop, I had a prompt, which was to have them create marketing for a week. and it went from the video script to social media post to the newsletter to the blog post to everything. The prompt was in a Word document, a half a page long. And everyone's like, I'm going to copy and paste this entire prompt in here. It's like, yep. I don't think there's a limit as far as characters into prompts that I've run into, Scott. Have you?
8,000. I read it yesterday.
You read it
And that was like right prompt. Out of the, he's like, I got it.
I did it yesterday. And well, what we did is we were giving it an example, and I was trying to determine, do we attach it as an attachment as a TXT file or paste it into the prompt? And it's 8,000.
8,000. Okay. So there you go. So 8,000 characters you can put into a prompt. You can load a lot into a prompt. Yeah. So using that method, Chelsea, of act as, and then tell it. So specifically, and you think about the whole ATM method is thinking about an ATM. And so, it's, yeah, well, and the denomination. So tell it, hey, I need, $500. I want 3 $100 bills and I want 2. And so, thinking about that is very helpful. So the more information that you give it, then the better output you're going to get. Absolutely. And so I think,
the more concise your language, right? If you use vague language, you're going to get vague answers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it does get lazy. So I know there was an update last week that made it a little wonky for a while, but it seems to be working out a little bit better. So don't get frustrated with it. Just look at it as, I call it kind of training a toddler, both you and chat.
Well, how I tell people to do it is talk to it like an adult, but treat it like a child.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
Exactly. I love it. Okay. So Chelsea, I'm going to have you share how people can get in touch with you and some of the services that you can provide, in addition, obviously, to helping them learn how to master AI.
Yeah. So I am on every social media platform at the Chelsea Gardner or over at chelseagardner.com. And I help my clients really simplify social media, taking it off their plate, doing their social media marketing and their Facebook meta advertising. So those are my services that I offer.
Awesome. And you have a podcast?
Yes.
And where's that
at? It is at simplifiedsocialmarketingpodcast.com. And okay. The last episode may have been a month ago.
Oh, we need to get you back on the wagon, girl. So here's 3 guests right here. You can get people on. So
I just need to build in the time to record. That's my biggest thing. Yep.
So give me this we can talk about later, but I have a real estate agent in Arizona who would probably be good for you on your podcast. Okay. Perfect. So I'll put something in. Sorry for those that are on our Facebook. You're not streaming. I'm streaming to mine. Next Wednesday, I'm excited because we're going to continue the conversation kind of around marketing. And I have Anthony, and I'm not going to say his last name correctly, but he is with Bonk Digital. Balsamo, I think.
Balsamo, yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony's awesome.
And so Anthony and I have been working on a couple of projects for some of my clients on websites, and just having the whole conversation of AI and kind of what's happening with AI in Google and how that's relating to searches and SEO. And so I said, you know what, you need to hop on the call with us. So Anthony's going to join us next week, and we'll see you next Wednesday. So thank you, Chelsea. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
y'all. Have a great day.
Okay, bye.
Bye.